Hey guys, this video is going to show you the information that you will need to understand a W-2 as well as complete a 1040 EZ. So I'm going to start here by going over the information on a W-2 form. And this form is for Edgar Flores, and then you'll use this information in the W-2 to take a look at two other W-2 forms and then complete two 1040 EZ forms. Taking a look here, you'll notice that all of the boxes in the W-2 have letters or numbers that are associated with them. So here we have some letters for the employee's social security number, the employer identification number, the employer's name, address, and zip code, and the employee's name and address information. On the right-hand side, you have different boxes that have numbers that correspond with the amount that the person made, so the wages, tips, and other compensation, as well as the taxes that were being taken out from the paycheck over the course of the year. So your federal tax, federal income tax withheld, Social Security tax, and Medicare tax. So I'm going to go ahead and use this information to then complete my 1040 EZ. So what you'll be doing is you'll need to complete a 1040 EZ for two people. And those two people are going to be, and I'm just taking a look here, Melinda Flowers and Marcus Roberts. And I will tell you for each of them if they are, if they can be claimed as a dependent, which we'll get to here in just a second, or if they are independent. So the first thing you're going to do, and you'll notice I have the W-2 form here, and then I have the 1040 EZ. Now, full disclosure, many of you, when you go to complete your taxes, will complete it on some type of online service. So it might be TurboTax, it might be, you might take them somewhere to get completed. But I think it's really important, and part of the curriculum of this course is to have you actually take a look at the 1040 EZ so that you understand the purpose of filing taxes and you're aware of how the numbers work. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and put Edgar's information. So I'm going to put Edgar. So it says first name and initial, and his middle initial is J, and then Flores. And then I'm going to put his home address, which is 111 West Main Street. And he lives in Los Angeles, California, 90004. And again, I got that information from box E. And all W-2 forms are the same. So when you go to look at the W-2, it's going to be the same on this as it is for every other form that you're going to be taking a look at. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to start to enter in our information. So we're going to go here and we're going to look at, and you'll notice that the 1040 EZ is blocked off into some different sections based on the information that you are going to be filling out. So first, taking a look here, it has the income information. So it's asking you how much did you make in the previous year, if you had any payments, credits, and tax, and then if you are going to have either a refund or the amount that you owe, which I will explain what that really means here in just a second. So income for box 1 says wages, salaries, and tips. This should be shown in box 1 of your form W-2. So we're going to go back to our form W-2. And the amount in box 1 is $5,505. So I'm going to put 5505, and then I'm going to go ahead and put 00 here on the other side. The next thing it asks me in line 2 is for taxable interest. If the total is over $1,500, you could not use form 1040 EZ. For the purpose of this assignment, we don't have taxable interest. Taxable interest is essentially if you have money in a savings account and you are earning interest on that money over the course of the year, you are taxed on it. So the government essentially taxes us on any money that is looked at as income. So for the purpose of this assignment, we don't have anything. In the future, if you do have money in a savings account that's earning interest, you would enter that amount here on line 2. Unemployment compensation, we don't have anything for that either. Edgar was not receiving unemployment compensation, so we're not going to put anything there. And we don't have an Alaska Permanent Fund dividends either, so we're going to go ahead and leave that at 0. And then it just says to add lines 1, 2, and 3. This is your adjusted gross income. So we're going to go ahead and put that amount here. Okay. So if someone can claim you or your spouse if a joint return as a dependent, you are going to check the applicable boxes. So I'm going to go ahead and check the box because in this case, Edgar is considered a dependent. Now, you don't know that from looking at his W-2, but for your future assignments, you'll know that because I'm going to tell you. This person's a dependent, this person's not a dependent. Okay? So a dependent is essentially meaning that his parents can claim him. So he's still under the umbrella of his parents. So that means that we have to complete the worksheet on the back. So we're going to go ahead and scroll down. And here it says to enter the amount, if any, from line 1. So the amount from line 1 is going to be $55.05. And then we're going to add $350 to that. So as you can probably start to see, a lot of filing your taxes is just learning how to read the forms, which if you don't read carefully, it can be really easy to make a mistake. And then it gives you the minimum standard deduction. So it says $1,000 there. And then it gives you the benefit of the doubt. So enter the larger one. So you're either going to enter line A or line B. So we're going to enter line A. And then it says maximum standard deduction. So if single, you're going to enter $6,200. If married, filing jointly, you're going to enter $12,400. So we're going to go ahead and enter $6,200. And then it tells us to enter the smaller amount. So the smaller amount of line C or D is going to be our standard deduction. Because line C is smaller, we are going to put $58.05. Okay, then it says exemption amount if single, enter 0. So we're going to put it 0. And then we are going to add lines E and F. So we're going to get 5805.00. And then we need to enter the total here and on line 5 in the front. So we're going to go ahead and scroll back up. And on line 5, we are going to put 5805.00. Or excuse me, let me put the 00 there. Okay. So then it says, subtract line 5 from line 4. And this is where oftentimes students get a little bit, it gets a little bit tricky because you're subtracting, you're instinctively, you're like, I have to subtract the smaller amount from the larger amount. Not necessarily the case. So this is where you really want to take that extra second to read exactly what it's saying. So subtract line 5 from line 4. If line 4 is larger, if line 5 is larger than line 4, we're going to enter 0. And that's the case. So what that means is that our taxable income is 0. Then it asks us, okay, so now you need to take a look at how much federal income tax was withheld from your W-2 and your 1099. So how much was actually taken out is $336. And I know this by looking in box 2 of my W-2. So I'm going to then go back and I'm going to put $336 in this box. Now, the one thing that is extremely important for you to recognize, and I'm going to go ahead and open up another tab because I need to get the tax tables, which will be available for you. so don't worry. But what's important to note is that essentially what this is saying is this is how much money is being taken out. So $336 was taken out, and then the tax tables are to show you how much money should have been taken out. So remember, the point of filing your taxes is to figure out how much money was being taken out during the year and if the right amount was taken out. And you might be saying to yourself, well, can't you just figure it out so that the right amount is taken out? Not always. There's a lot of different variables that go into filing your taxes. So you have to go through this process. So taking a look at this tax table, the way that this works is it shows you up here. So, and this is from 1040, but okay. So if your income is at least 0, but less than 5, and you are single, the amount of tax that you would actually be taking out is going to be 0, meaning that you wouldn't have to pay anything. Okay, so again, at least 0, but less than 5. So let's say I said your taxable income is $2,350. So what you would do is you would go on your tax table. So over here, 2,350. Ooh, so what do I do? Okay, so it's at least this, but less than this. Nope, so it's not less than 2,350, so I have to go to the next line. Because I'm single, that means that my tax then would be $236. So, but at the end, it's 0 to 5. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put, I went a little ahead of myself there, 0. So what it says here, taxable income, I have $336. Earned income credit, I don't have any of that. Non-taxable combat pay, I don't have any of that. So I'm going to add lines 7 and 8A, and I'm going to have $336. Then on line 10, which is what I just did, so tax, you're going to use the amount on line 6 above to find your tax in the tax table and enter the amount. So again, I got that from the tax table, and I'm going to put a 0. Healthcare. So this is a new adjustment to the tax, and you're going to learn about this as you see it in the Affordable Care Act. If you are receiving health care, you are now claiming that on your taxes. So the difference is if you're receiving benefits through your employer. So as a teacher in Hinsdale Township, I receive health care from my employer. I do not claim that on my taxes. If you are receiving health care through Obamacare, you do put that on your taxes. For the purpose of this assignment, we don't have that. So we're going to leave that blank. So then I'm going to add lines 10 and 11, and I'm going to have 0. This is your total tax. So essentially what this is saying is based on Edgar's income, he did not need to pay taxes. So now we need to figure out, does he get a refund or does he owe? So again, this is a place where you really need to read exactly what the line says. So if line 9 is larger than line 12, we're going to subtract line 12 from line 9. So is line 9 larger than line 12? Yes. So our refund is going to be $336. Now, let's say the opposite was true. Let's say that line 12 was 336 and line 9 was 0. Not the case, but I just want to show you the example. You would then go here because line 12 would be larger than line 9, and this would be the amount that you owe. So really, everything you've done up until this point on the 1040 EZ is extremely important. But really, lines 13A or 14 is really determining, okay, do I owe money or do I get money back? So the key here that I want to be clear on is that, you are quote unquote getting a refund, and you can't see me, but I'm doing air quotes. But really, it's money that you've been paying, right? So over the course of the year, Edgar paid in $336 for his taxes. The point of filing taxes is essentially saying, whoa, wait a minute, you didn't have to pay that amount of money. So as a result, you are now getting that money back. So what you will be doing moving forward is completing the 1040 EZs for, again, Melinda Flowers and Marcus Roberts. And then on Google Classroom, there is a form that you'll need to put in the numbers for each of the forms. Please let me know if you have any questions on this assignment. And before we continue, I just want to do one other quick thing. On this refund section here, if you were getting the money back, it does allow for direct deposit. So essentially what you're putting here is routing number, and whether it's going into a checking or savings, and then the account number to deposit that into your account. Down here at the bottom, you are signing your information. So if this, if we were really doing this, we would be signing here. So your signature, it would be Edgar J. Flores. And then down here is if you have it prepared. So places like H&R Block, Jackson Hewitt, if you are taking your taxes somewhere, the preparer is also signing off that they have completed it as well. But that's it for this video, and let me know if you have questions. Thank you.